Safety Committee to order, October 24th, 2018.
I won't ask you no more.
Miss Lucy, good evening, how are you?
Are we gonna talk about boom booms today?
Boom booms.
The dog naming?
I think those probably will be not
I
talked.
won't be talking about it.
Anyway, we want to start with, everybody had a chance to look at the minutes of the meeting, last meeting? Check them out, you make a motion? Second? Second. Mr. Bulk? All those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. And we're going to start with number 1, local law number G for 2018. Local law of the County of Albany, New York, to limit length of time that canines may be restrained outdoors, no more than 2 hours, in any 12-hour period. I believe this is being tabled at the request of the sponsor, Mr. Clanahan. Number 2 is local law number H for 2018. Local law of the County of Albany, New York, protect canines from enclosure in dangerously hot or cold vehicles. Again, that's being tabled at the request of Mr. Clanahan. Local law number R for 2018, a local law of the County of Albany, New York, prohibiting Albany County government from assisting in the investigation of citizenship or immigration status of any persons.
I'm going to table that as a co-sponsor.
Thank you, Ms. Wolf. Okay. That'll be tabled at request of
And the next.
And the next one, number 4 is also tabled. Okay. We'll move on to current business then. Number 5, resolution number 491, requesting Albany County Sheriff to undertake a comprehensive analysis of the enhanced infrastructure, 911 infrastructure in Albany County. Mr. Chairman.
Good evening. How are you?
Good.
We met with the sheriff probably about 3 weeks ago. Myself, Mr. Bergdorf, and Mr. O'Brien, both from Colony. They identified some cell phone reception connectivity issues that have been long-standing in Colony.
Yeah.
I also shared some of my own experiences out in the edge of Albany and Bethlehem, where cell phone coverage could be improved. Kind of identified it as a public safety issue.
Yeah.
People are trying to contact 911 or otherwise. So we met with the sheriff and requested that you utilize his resources, his staff, to look at the problems and see how we can kind of correct them.
Good. Does anybody have any questions? Mr. Ward?
Mr. Chairman, are we strictly talking cell phone coverage or 911 tower issues?
Both.
Both, okay.
Mr. Sinaraji?
Mr. Chairman, is that because calls are going to surrounding counties, calls getting dropped, or what's?
That's one of the issues.
Which one?
That's one of the issues that gets encountered when, say you're in Cohoes or Waterville and you place a 911 call, it goes across the river.
Correct. I was going to say that you're having the same thing in Cohoes, Green Island, Waterville, up in the river cities as well as that. So, I mean, is that also going to be part of the study area, seeing as that county dispatch does do the call center for?
Yeah, that's actually something that the sheriff brought up, and it's going to be a holistic kind of view of connectivity and using 911.
Great. Mr. Bullock?
Yeah, we had discussions with the sheriff on shared services between the city and the county on 911 operators. Was there any discussion on the shared services aspect of this?
No.
Okay. That's still in the pipeline.
I would characterize that as a separate issue, but yes, it's still in the pipeline.
Thank you.
Doug Sheriff has been talking about that already, the shared services of 911 with the dispatchers and the communication center. And some other municipalities are already on board with that, I believe.
If I may,
Yes.
if I may briefly, the sheriff already has intermunicipal agreements
Right.
with Colony and the city of Albany. So I don't know if that is what you're asking about.
With the city of Albany.
No, to take it over as to have, like he did back in 2011, 2012, somewhere around there, Albany County took over the operations of
Right.
Cohoes. Did they do Green Island?
Waterville, Green Island, Ravine, I believe,
Cohoes,
Queens.
they did. So they took over the transition of all of the calls in the call center. So I know that that was one of the things to Legislator Bullock's point that they were going to do with the city of Albany, is that they were going to take 911 from Albany into the Albany County Dispatch.
Part Previously, they did, I could just speak to a contract that exists in a municipal agreement between the city of Albany, Colony, and the sheriff's department to take some on. I'll get you clarification on if that's already covered what you're speaking of.
But if they would be county employees, not.
Oh, all right, they were not, that didn't call for that.
That's
so,
where
okay.
when we did it, I was on the council at the time, and actually worked here on the legislature. They wound up doing the transition of city employees to county employees. And if you look at the legislative budgets over the course of the last couple of years, you would wind up seeing that their budget has increased because the cost is, for those municipalities, has dwindled. But on item number 5, if the sponsor would be so kind, I would, you can add my name to that.
Okay. Thank you. Any other, Mr. Brewer?
I'd really like to thank the chairman for his leadership on this. This sort of came out of 2 frustrated legislators who got complaints from a volunteer fire department as well as many of our constituents that literally 50% of the calls in our area, which is as dense a suburban area as possible, were dropping. And with everybody sort of getting rid of their landline, and now having to rely on cell phones, I tell you, in certain parts of our town, and you get about a 50-50 chance of getting an ambulance to come to your house if you have a cell phone line. And the sheriff, when we raised it with him, he was very, very anxious to be helpful. And I think he can bring some folks to the table from the providers and state regulators, and hopefully he'll have some we've urged him to have some hearings around the county so that people can come forward and, I hate to say, tell their horror stories, but bring it forward so hopefully some progress could be made. So,
Just for clarification, there's 2 issues going on here, what Chairman's talking about and then what Mr. Signarachi with the dispatchers. That's still in discussion.
Yeah.
That's a separate issue than what Mr. Joyce is.
right.
Yeah. I
I'm
just
back
wanted for
on the
clarification.
legislation. I
Right.
apologize.
No, that's fine, that's great. Anybody else have any questions or comments? No? Can I have a motion to move this? Second. All those in favor? Against? It passes.
Thank you, folks.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank
Number 6, adopting the Albany County Multi-Jurisdictional Hazard Mitigation Plan. Mr. McLaughlin, okay, Mike, okay.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
So yes, the County Executive's Office would like to request that we adopt the hazard mitigation plan as the hazard mitigation plan
Is
for
that
Albany
it?
County
Okay.
and each participating
So
municipality.
moved.
Yes, so pass it around, take a look at all, or?
Who had to read that? I want to know.
What one person has read it?
I read it.
It's been
I
a
read
combination
part
of
of it.
people that put together
And
legislation.
from material.
I was on a committee.
You know everything that needs to be known about it. Anybody have any questions?
So moved.
Okay.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody against?
See, now, if you learn, if you bring in a binder like that, you can get all of it without question.
There's one we're putting that down.
Actually, read most of it.
And you're here for the next one as well,
Correct.
for number
Well,
7,
what pertains-
authorizing the
Oh,
acceptance
my area.
of grant funding from State Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Service regarding Emergency Preparedness Initiative and amending the 2018 Albany County budget, 2018. Okay.
Yes, we would like to request permission to receive grant funding from the Department of Homeland Security. This is an annual grant. This year, it is in the amount of $452,000.
Oh, okay. What was the $565,000 award?
So the sheriff also took part in this grant.
Okay.
The executive branch will be receiving $452,000. The sheriff will receive the other portion of that.
Okay, thank you. Any questions on this? Mr. Ward?
Can I ask, is this related to the pod, the health department, or what is this going to be used for? I
Yes,
guess?
so the health department will get about $300,000, and that's to continue staffing, fringe benefits, as well as things like the pod pointed dispersing exercise that they do every year. We also are going to be giving money to Department of Information Services so they can increase the cybersecurity, and $20,000 will go to the Department of General Services for hiring a consulting firm to do an active shooter plan.
Okay,
Any other questions? Have a motion?
I'll make that
Mr.
motion.
Ward? Mr. Vogt, second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any against? I have a motion to adjourn. Thank you. Second, Peter?
Thank you.
Adjourn.
Yeah,
All those in favor,
Peter.
right?